Welcome to episode 43 of the 2 Minute Warning. Today on the table, Lamar Jackson, and is he overrated?
Yeah, I think, Lamar just came off an MVP year, and did he deserve it? Yes, but long term, I don't like Lamar Jackson as an NFL quarterback that I want on my team. Eventually, he's going to lose that 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 speed. We don't know what it is. When that time comes, he's irrelevant. When he's not as fast, when he's not faster than everyone else, when he's not as agile, when he can't juke everyone out, he's irrelevant. Like we saw against the Chiefs this year, he threw for under 100 yards, and it was just embarrassing. I mean, he didn't even look competitive. Any big game, anytime he's behind, he cannot throw the ball down the field when he's needed to. When he's confident, when he's up by a score, he can check it down 20, 30, throws great pass touchdowns to Mark Andrews, and a mid-range deep ball, 20, 30 yards to Mark Andrews, and he's going to get Dez Bryant, so it may develop more. But as of right now, I'm going to say no, I don't like Lamar Jackson, and I think he's overrated. I'm not going to say I dislike him, but I do think he's overrated.
I'm a Lamar Jackson fan for the most part. I like the way he plays. He's electric. But my short answer to the question is yes, I do believe he's overrated to a certain extent. Not horribly overrated. He's not bad.
Yeah.
But he is overrated. He is regarded as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And there is some truth to that. He is top. He is elite. But he's not as good as he may be regarded as. When I'm looking at a quarterback and kind of evaluating how valuable they are or how good they are as a player, the first thing I consider is their ability to win big games, which he's only in his third year, or is it his fourth? I think it's only his third year. So he hasn't had a whole lot of chances. His rookie season, he started a playoff game, and of course, as a rookie, it's a whole new world, so it's tough. They didn't win that one. Last season, as the number 1 seed, number 2 seed in the AFC, probably.
Might have been one. I think it was one.
That is true. So last year as number 1 seed in the AFC, they dropped the first game to Tennessee. Lamar looked really weak. I think he had like 150 pass yards, maybe a touchdown, turnovers, whatever. So that game was that was during his MVP season. That game really stood out to me as a game that a high-level quarterback would come out and win. As the number 1 seed, as the MVP, you live up to the hype. You win the game.
Or at least look good.
Right. He didn't look. If you lose a 33 to 30 game, and you throw for 350 yards and you lose, that's one thing. But he did not do that. And he just, even his stats this year at 10-2, touchdown to interceptions with 1,100 yards. His production through the air lacks quite a bit, and that's the biggest thing for a quarterback. Yes, he's electric outside the pocket. Yes, he can make plays happen, but not in big games, and for that reason, I think he's overrated.
And not to completely contradict what I just said, but right now, I do think Lamar is a great quarterback, and there's not many guys that would take over him. I say he's a top 7 quarterback, personally, because, like I said, when he's behind, he's not that great. He can't throw the ball down the field when you need him, but it's very rare he actually falls behind, so he can get you great production, great wins throughout the season, but in those big games, in those big moments, he just falls behind. And like I said, still top 7 quarterback to put this guy in your franchise, let's say next 10 years, eventually he's going to lose his speed. It's never been super successful. Michael Vick, we all like his level of play and how he changed the game, but even him never got it done, and I think he had a great deep threat compared to Lamar, and he might not be as fast, but I think he was a greater passer, and he didn't get much done, so I think it's going to be a very similar outcome.
That's a good point, and I think just the way he plays isn't necessarily sustainable. Like you said, he's going to lose the speed. Not that he is injury prone, but the way that he plays, he takes hits when he doesn't juke people out, which he does a lot. Anyway, there's a high chances of injury as his career goes on. He gets older. He still tries to play this way. So an injury comes into play in the next couple seasons. If that were to happen, then of course his career could go down the drain. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But when it comes down to it, whether it's going to be in the division round of the playoffs or the Super Bowl, if they find themselves there, you're going to need a quarterback that comes from behind. Every good quarterback will have to overcome a deficit in a game, which he just doesn't do well. And we're going to have to wait to see. This weekend against Pittsburgh is going to be a big chance for Lamar to prove that he can win against a very elite defense. We'll have to see.
Like Carson said, big games is a big factor. His past few big games, every time he's played the Chiefs, he's 0-3. His last playoff appearance, he lost. And his first playoff appearance,
Only he's lost.
Regular season-wise, this is a big game for him, division rivalry. Steelers are undefeated, so if he can pull off that upset, it's going to look great for him. But even if he does win, if he does great, you have to pay attention to, the Ravens might have won, but how did they do it? Did Lamar run for 100 yards? Did they get an early lead? Did Big Ben throw a couple picks? You have to pay attention. Did he win the game? Could he have won the game if he was behind, if anything else happened? Or did they just sneak away with the win? I do think they can pull off the win just because it's Ravens at home. Steelers and Ravens, great rivalry, and they always split the division. But just pay attention to whoever wins this game, how it happened, and we'll see, even if Lamar lights out, took off, was he exactly what I said? He got an early lead. The Steelers didn't look great. He ran the ball a lot, and we'll see. Just consider that for playoff time, and in general, if he was behind, if he doesn't have his speed, can he still get it done in 5-6 years?
Yep. I think the big thing to look for this game against the Steelers is if Lamar can come out and throw 250 or more yards, because history shows when he plays a big team, he doesn't throw for, or he throws anywhere from 100 to 170 yards.
He has like one game this season over 250 yards.
Right. So, I mean, that's, okay, now that's just his style of play. He doesn't throw the ball that much, but we need to see him throw for over 200 yards against an elite defense to really change that opinion.
Sounds good.
All right. 2 minutes. Good morning.